am Harneet Kaur Bhusari and I welcome you all at F3 Recipes. So I am back with a quick and easy recipe for all of you once again. Today I am going to show you how to make chocolate balls for your tiny ones. These chocolate balls are really simple and really quick. You do not need to add cocoa powder as well. So here are the following ingredients that you need to make these chocolate balls. Some bourbon biscuit, some chopped dry fruits, coconut powder. Instead of coconut powder, you can even use edible silver balls or colorful balls, and some milk. So I'm making these chocolate balls with the help of bourbon biscuits. You can even use Marie biscuits, but then you'll have to add some cocoa powder to it. So now I'm going to grind these bourbon biscuits in a mixer grinder. I'll put these biscuits in the mixer grinder along with the cream, breaking roughly into pieces. 1 pack of bourbon biscuit is enough. Make sure your mixer grinder is not at all wet. It has to be very dry because you have to make these biscuits in the powder form. So you can see these biscuits are in the powder form now. So now I'll take some powder out in a plate. Since I have grinded the biscuits along with the cream, you do not need to add extra cocoa powder or any other ingredient, not even sugar, because bourbon biscuits are naturally very sweet. Now I'll add 2 spoons of milk to it. So now with the help of hand, I'll make a nice dough. I'll make a dough like we make one for chapatis. The paste is very fluid now, so I'll add some more powder to it. These chocolate balls for your tiny ones are really easy to make. You do not even need many ingredients for it. So my dough is now ready. You know it's ready when you see it's leaving the plates properly. It shouldn't stick to the plate once it's done. As you can see, I keep it and I remove, it doesn't stick to the plate, so means it's perfect now. Now all I need to do is make small chocolate balls out of it. I'll take a little oil in my hand just to grease my hands properly so that it doesn't stick to my hand. So I'll make a small hole in between and add some chopped dry fruits. If your tiny ones do not like dry fruits, you can even add coconut powder inside instead of dry fruits. I am making dry fruit chocolate balls. Now I'll roll it in the coconut powder. You remove the excess with the help of your hands. Similarly, you'll make different balls out of it. You can even add a stick to it after making the balls. If your tiny ones likes having lollipops, so this is how I fill my dry fruits in it. You can even do vice versa. You can fill the coconut powder inside and roll it in the chopped dry fruits. So my chocolate balls are now ready. You can see how beautiful they look. I have given them round shape. You can even add a stick, make lollipop, or you can give triangle, rectangle, or any other shape, whichever your tiny one likes. So this is how it looks. Do try this recipe. It requires minimum ingredients and minimum of your time. It requires hardly 7 minutes. Today I am going to show you how to make egg cutlets. This is a perfect combination for all the egg lovers and the pakoda lovers. For this dish you need the following ingredients: 3 boiled eggs, breadcrumbs of around 7 to 8 pieces, salt, jeera powder, green chilies, coriander leaves, dhania powder, and mashed potatoes, around 3 mashed potatoes. I have taken mashed potatoes and breadcrumbs in a bowl. I'll take a few more breadcrumbs. Remember, you're neither adding corn flour nor maida in it, so you have to add more of breadcrumbs than the mashed potatoes. Now I'll add chopped green chilies, salt, jeera powder, dhania powder, and chopped coriander leaves. you have to mix all these ingredients well. So now I have mixed all these ingredients well. You can see this is how it has to look. You can add a tablespoon of water if you feel the mixture is dry. And mix it well so that it becomes smooth. Now I am going to take a boiled egg. And roll the mixture over it. So this is how my egg cutlet looks. Now I am going to deep fry it. But before that, I am going to put this mixture over all the 3 eggs. So here my 3 egg cutlets are ready. Before deep frying them, you can also roll them in suji. But I will just deep fry the egg cutlets now. Remember, the oil has to be very hot or else the egg cutlets will soak the oil in it. So you can see the egg cutlets are now turning golden brown. I'll wait for a few more minutes. If you roll them into suji, it would become even more crispier and crunchier. So here you can see my egg cutlets are ready. Now I'm going to remove them in a plate. So now my egg cutlets are ready. I'm going to cut them into 2 pieces. You can see how delicious these look and very simple and quick to make. So these are my egg cutlets ready. You can garnish them with some fresh coriander leaves and some chaat masala and serve these hot with some green chutney and tomato ketchup. Today I am going to give you a recipe for a summer drink. It's a perfect summer drink and also doesn't require many ingredients. It's a summer drink known as green tea cucumber mocktail. For this mocktail you need the following product. You need a cup of green tea, sugar, some ice cubes, lemon juice, ginger, mint leaves, cucumber and some salt. Also I have taken a slice of cucumber and a slice of lemon and some chopped mint leaves for garnishing. So these are the ingredients you require to make this summer drink known as green tea cucumber mocktail. So now all you have to do is just blend all these ingredients together in a mixer grinder. So I'm taking the glass, I'm pouring half a cup of green tea. Not too much of green tea, I'm taking only half a cup because then the cucumber won't be blended properly. I'll cut it into rough pieces. So I'm now taking a small piece of ginger, some mint leaves. I'm adding a little salt. You can also use some rock salt, lemon juice. Remember, lemon gives a nice flavor to it. So you add 4 spoons of lemon juice, 1 spoon of sugar and some ice cubes. So now I'm going to blend all these ingredients properly. Green tea, as we all know, is very good for health. Also lemon, mint leaves and cucumber helps you feel fresh during summer. So now I'm going to blend all these ingredients. So I believe my refreshing summer drink is now ready. I'll first check with the spoon if still there are pieces of cucumber. Looks really green and fresh. So now my this summer drink is ready. I'll take it out in a glass with the help of a strainer. can see how green and fresh it looks. So now I'll take a slice of lemon, also a slice of cucumber, because as we know it's named green tea cucumber mocktail. So here's chopped mint leaves. So here's ready your green tea cucumber mocktail. It will make you feel really fresh and refreshing, especially in your summers. So this is a must-have daily, regularly in the morning if you're going out in the hot summers. Today I'm going to show you how to make a refreshing summer drink, that is minty lassi. So here are the ingredients that we need to make minty lassi. 1 cup of curd, 1 cup of milk, 1 cup of mint leaves, that is pudina, 4 tablespoons of lemon juice, and some ice cubes. So all that we have to do is, it's a very simple, quick and easy recipe. All that you have to do is, you only have to blend all these together in a mixer grinder. It depends on you. If you like it too sweet, you can increase the quantity of the lemon juice. Or if you like it sweet, you can even add some sugar. Depends on the consistency that you want of this minty lassi. If you want it flowing consistency, you can add more milk, or if you want thick, you can add more of curd. You can just pour it in a glass, not to fill it completely, and add some ice cubes to it. Also, garnish it with some mint leaves. You can also add some seasonal fruits, like you can add mango in summer or any other fruit which is seasonal. So here's ready your minty lassi. Today I'm going to show you how to make noodle balls. This recipe would require almost 20 minutes but would make a really amazing and delicious snack. For this recipe you need the following ingredients. 1 pack cooked noodles, you can even use Maggi instead of the noodles. 2 boiled potatoes which are mashed. Some salt, chopped onions, green chilies, black pepper powder, coriander leaves. This is 4 spoons of besan, which is also known as chickpea flour, in which I have mixed 3 spoons of water. So now I'll begin with the recipe. First of all, I'll take the noodles in a large bowl. In this, I'm going to mix mashed potatoes, chopped onion, half a tablespoon of salt, few pieces of green chilies, and half a tablespoon of black pepper powder. So now I'm going to mix all these ingredients properly. With the help of your fingertips, you have to mash the noodles and the potatoes and make it like a thick mixture. So now when all the ingredients are mixed properly, you can make small balls of these mixture with the help of your palms. So now I am making small balls of the mixture. I am making medium sized balls. You can even make it smaller or larger as per your likes. So now here my 5 Maggi balls are ready. First of all, I am going to heat the oil in a pan so that it's hot enough and the noodle balls does not soak the oil in it. Now my oil is ready, it's very hot. Now I am going to dip the noodle balls in the besan batter that I had made. You can also roll it in suji so that it's made even crunchier and crispier. So now, one by one, I'll put the balls in the oil. I'll wait for a few minutes and let the noodle balls settle in the oil. So now, as you can see, the noodle balls are turning golden brown. So now the noodle balls are ready. I'll take them out in a bowl. So here is my noodle balls ready. I have garnished them with fresh coriander leaves and some tomato ketchup. This is a combination of both for all the pakoda and noodle lovers. Do try this recipe. Today I am going to show you a simple and quick breakfast. Usually we all love Maggi, but most of us do not eat Maggi because it is fattening. So I am going to show you something which is with the Maggi flavor but not at all fattening, in fact very healthy. So here are the ingredients that we require for this recipe. We need 1 bowl of oats, 1 bowl of water and 2 tablespoons of Maggi masala. What you have to do is take some water in a pan, mix oats in it and mix the Maggi masala. You can also add a pinch of salt depending on your likes and keep stirring it. Depends the consistency that you like for your masala oats. You can add more of water if you like it more fluid, or if you like it thick, you can add more of oats. So I am getting a lovely fragrance because of the magic masala. Now I see this is too thick, so I'll add some more water and I'll simmer my gas for some time. Do not cook it on the fast flame because the oats will remain uncooked. So here my oats are properly cooked. I'll take it out in a bowl. Since the Maggi masala has all the ingredients in it already, you do not need to add the spices. You can garnish it with some coriander leaves. Also some oregano if you like. I like to keep it simple and healthy. So this is my oats magic masala ready for the healthy breakfast. Thank you. I'm back with an easy yet delicious recipe. Each one of us have a sweet tooth and so each one of us loves cakes too. So today I'm going to tell you a cake recipe which will take hardly 10 minutes. 5 minutes of baking and 5 minutes in its preparations, and it will be ready, and it requires minimum ingredients. Most of you must have heard of the biscuits cake, but today I'm going to show you a cake made with Oreo biscuits. For this recipe you require following ingredients. I have taken 19 Oreo biscuits, 1 cup of milk, 1 bowl sugar, some cherries for dressing, maida to grease and some ghee to grease the tray. Also you need a pinch of soda or Eno. So first of all I'm going to take all the biscuits in a mixer grinder. I'll cut it into pieces roughly. Do not remove the cream. If at all you increase the quantity of your biscuits while baking your cake, remember you have to take a half cup of milk extra. Do not take too much of milk because the liquid will become too fluid. Now I'm going to grind it and make these biscuits in a powdered form. So now the biscuits are done in the powdered form. Since I have taken the biscuits with the cream, do not add too much of sugar. I'll take half a bowl of sugar, and as we know Oreo biscuits are already very sweet, do not add too much of sugar. Now this is 1 cup of milk. So now my mixture for the cake is ready. You can see how delicious it looks, very chocolatey. I'll take it out in a bowl. Now I'll add 3/4 pack of Eno. You can also add soda. Do not keep it for long. Once you have added Eno or soda, mix it well. Now I'm going to grease the baking tray. I've added Eno and mixed it properly. Now I'll take the mixture out in a baking tray. So here's my cake mixture ready. I've taken out in a baking tray. Now I'll bake it for 5 minutes on microwave. I've set it on 5 minutes. And now the process has started. I'm already excited to see how the result is. Now after wait of almost 7 minutes, my cake is ready. I'm going to take out from the oven. see it's properly cooked or no. I'll take a knife and do the test. It comes out clean, meaning it's properly cooked. It looks delicious. Now I'm going to take it out in a plate. As you can see, my cake is ready. Now I'm going to decorate it. I do not like a lot of cream on my cake, so I'm not putting cream. Since Oreo cake is already very moist, I'm going to just decorate it with minimum ingredients. As you can see, I have some chocolate balls, cherries and Oreo biscuits. So now my cake is ready. I have done the dressing with some cherries, chocolate balls, vanilla ball and also Oreo biscuits. I haven't used a lot of cream or much ingredients. So this is how my cake looks. Absolutely delicious yet very simple and soft. So now I'm going to enjoy this cake. Till then you also try this recipe and let me know if you liked it. Today I'm going to show you a very simple recipe, that is poha dhokla. This is the newest and the quickest of all. This recipe needs very minimum time and only 2 spoons of oil. For this recipe for the batter you need 1 cup of poha and half a cup of curd, a pinch of salt. Remember the ratio of the curd and poha. Curd always has to be half of the poha. For the tadka you need some mustard seeds, that is rai, kari patta, that is curry leaves, green chilies, that is hari mirch, and turmeric powder, that is haldi. For garnishing you need coriander leaves, that is dhania, and coconut powder. So let's begin with this recipe. Only 2 spoons of oil, some rai, that is mustard seeds, curry patta, green chilies and some haldi. This is the only cooking, that is preparing your tadka, that you have to do in your entire recipe. And here you see the tadka is ready. Now I'll take 1 cup of poha, pour it in a large bowl, some water. I'll soak it in the water for few minutes so that it doesn't remain hard and gets soft, and so that you can easily mash it. Now I'll remove the excess water with the help of a strainer. So here I've strained my poha. Now I'll add a pinch of salt and half a cup of curd. We can mix all these well. Initially with the spoon. So now I'll mix my tadka in the poha and curd batter that I've prepared. You have to mix the tadka in the batter very properly. This is how the consistency should be. If you feel the batter is too soft, you can add some more poha. But remember, you have to soak the poha before you put in it. Now I'll pour it in a plate. Remember to take a plate with dip so that you can place your pieces in it. Garnish it with some coriander leaves. And some coconut powder. So here is your poha dhokla ready. This is how a piece looks like. Doesn't it look like the usual traditional dhokla that you have? But this is definitely easier and tastes even better. So this is how your poha dhokla looks. with a new recipe for all you people. This recipe is known as poha kachori. So let's begin with the ingredients. For this recipe we need mashed potatoes, breadcrumbs, chopped coriander leaves, jeera, amchur that is dried mango powder, turmeric that is haldi, green chilies, salt and a bowl of poha. So I'll first make the base for kachoris. I'll take mashed potatoes in a bigger bowl. Breadcrumbs, chopped coriander, one spoon salt, 1 spoon jeera, green chilies and dried mango powder. So now with the help of spoon I'll mix all these ingredients properly. Once you have mixed them well, with the help of hand you can make a dough. This is how exactly the consistency has to be. So now my dough is ready for the kachoris. Now I'll take the bowl of poha. I'll take half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon dried mango powder, half teaspoon turmeric and mix them well. You can also add few green chilies. So now my poha mixture and the dough is ready. So I'll start preparing the poha kachoris. First of all, I'll take the mixture in hand. After making a round ball, I'll give them an oval shape. As we all know, the kachoris are oval, so I'll give them an egg shape. I'll fill 1 spoon of poha in the mixture. And then close it from the top. So this is my poha kachori ready. Similarly, I'll make one more poha kachori and then I'll deep fry them. So as we all know, the kachoris are round and flat. So I'm going to give them a round and flat shape. So here my 2 kachoris are ready. Now I'm going to deep fry them. The oil has to be very hot before you deep fry them. So you can see the kachoris are ready. They have got a lovely color. I'll take them out in the plate. So here my poha kachoris are ready. You can see such a lovely color they've got. You can serve them with some chopped onion and also with some chivla, that is sev. Today I am going to show you a very easy sweet dish. If you have some sudden guests at your place and you don't know what to make, do not worry. Here's a very simple sweet dish which is known as Shahi bread tukda. So to make this simple sweet dish, you require following ingredients. Some bread slices. I've cut them with the help of a bowl into round pieces. Chopped dry fruits, fresh cream, or you can also use fresh malai and sugar syrup. First of all, I'm going to heat the oil enough so that the bread doesn't soak the oil. As you can see, the oil is hot now, so I'm going to put all my bread slices in it and deep fry the bread slices. As you can see, the bread slices are turning golden brown. I'm going to cook them well till the time they turn proper brown and they are crispy and crunchy. So now they have turned proper brown. I'm going to take them out in a plate. Now I'm going to put fresh malai or cream. I'm using cream. You can also use fresh malai that you take out of the milk when you boil it on the bread slices. Also remember, you have to mix sugar in the malai so that it's sweet enough. Now I've put the cream on the bread slices. Now I'm going to put chopped dry fruits over it. So you can see my delicious sweet dish Shahi bread tukra is ready. As you can see, these also look like a Shahi tukra. You can serve these to your guests when they arrive suddenly at your place and you have no knowledge about it. You can cook these with minimum ingredients which will be easily available in your kitchen all the time, and also make it within 10 to 15 minutes. Do try this recipe. Today I am going to show you a very easy recipe which is known as Suji Uttappa. So for this recipe you need the following ingredients. 1 bowl of suji, that is semolina. 1 bowl of curd, that is dahi. Few chopped garlic cloves, jeera, that is cumin seeds, chopped green chilies, chopped coriander leaves, and some salt. For this recipe you may take whatever vegetables you like. I have taken beetroot, carrot, onion and capsicum. You may also add green peas or any other vegetable of your choice. So now let's begin with the recipe. To begin with, I'll take 1 bowl of suji in a bigger bowl, in which I'll add half bowl of curd. You can add more curd depending upon the quantity of suji that you have taken. Once you have mixed them well, start adding the vegetables to it. I've added capsicum, beetroot, coriander leaves, onion, carrot, green chili, a spoonful of cumin seeds, garlic cloves, and 1 spoon of salt. Now mix all these ingredients well. So here is my batter for the uttappa is ready. You can see it has got a really nice color because of the beetroots. So now in a pan I'll take 2 spoons of oil. So once the oil is hot, I'll add the suji batter over it. Add a few drops of oil even on the top of it. Now let it cook for a few minutes. So now the uttappa from the bottom is cooked. So once it's turned golden brown, you can remove it from the gas in a plate. So as you can see, the uttappa is now ready. It has turned brown and looks crispier. Because it has lots of veggies and it has curd, it's get difficult to pick it up with a pan stick. So directly in the plate, I will take it out from the pan. So here you can see the suji uttappa is ready. It looks very colorful and very delicious. You have to cook it for a while. It takes a little longer to get crispier, but do not hurry. Wait for a while for it to turn crispier and brown. Do try this recipe. Once again, I'm back with an easy peasy recipe for all you people. This is bread gulab jamun. As we all know, making a traditional gulab jamun is a tedious process, requires a lot of ingredients. Today I'm making a very quick and simple gulab jamuns. For this, we need only 3 ingredients. That is, some pieces of bread. You have to remove the sides of the bread. Oil enough so that you can deep fry the balls. Some milk. Even 4 to 5 spoons of milk is enough. Some coconut powder. Coconut powder is totally optional. So this is once again a very simple and easy recipes and also quick, as I've always been telling you, quick recipes. So for this, you have to do is, you have to take some pieces of bread. Remember not to take too much of milk or else the dough will become very soft. So now you bake these bread slices. Also make sure the dough is not too hard or else your gulab jamuns will taste hard. I'll add 1 more spoon of milk. Now I'll add some coconut powder. You mix it really well with the help of your hand and make a nice dough. Just like the one you make with wheat and water while preparing your chapatis. Now I feel the dough is a little hard, so I'll add 1 more spoon of milk. Remember not to take too much of milk. I'm keeping medium-sized balls. Usually you can make an assumption of your gulab jamuns by the number of bread slices that you take. As I took 5 slices, here are my 5 gulab jamun balls ready. You can count 1 bread slice as 1 gulab jamun. Now I have taken 2 bowls of oil in this pan. Remember to take enough oil because you have to deep fry your gulab jamun balls. Make sure the oil is very hot. Do not put your gulab jamun balls in the oil which is not very hot. You can check whether it's hot or no by putting a small piece in it. It's still not hot. So I'll wait for a few minutes for oil to get hot. Remember the oil should be very hot because the bread usually soaks oil in it. So now I'll put my gulab jamun balls in it. Remember the oil has to be very hot throughout. It's turning golden brown, but it has to be properly cooked, so it has to be proper brown. So here you can see the gulab jamun balls are ready. This is how the color should be. Not golden brown, but proper brown. So I take them out and put it in my sugar syrup, which is really hot. So here I've put my hot gulab jamun balls in the hot sugar syrup. Remember, even the sugar syrup has to be really hot. You can also make some small holes with the help of your knife in the gulab jamun balls so that the sugar syrup is poured completely in it. So for the bread to soak the sugar syrup completely, you have to keep the bread gulab jamun in the sugar syrup for around half an hour. Do not touch it. I've prepared the sugar syrup with the help of sugar, water and elaichi. So now this is my gulab jamun ready. I won't touch it for half an hour, although I really want to. I'll just keep it safe for around half an hour so that the bread soaks the sugar syrup completely. It's a very easy and quick recipe. Do try it. I'm back with an easy recipe known as bread pakoda. This is a very simple recipe, requires minimum time and minimum ingredients which are easily available right in your kitchen. And when you have sudden guests at your place, this is the right thing to serve. So for this recipe you need the following ingredients. Few bread slices, I've cut them into 2 in a triangular shape. Chopped garlic cloves, chopped green chili, chopped coriander, jeera, salt, water and besan, that is chickpea flour. So to begin with the recipe, I'll take besan in a larger bowl. I've taken 1 bowl of besan. I'll start mixing water in it. Remember, you have to also keep mixing as you put water in the besan. It has to be thick and runny but not too fluid. So this is how exactly the consistency has to be. I have increased the quantity of my batter. Now I have taken 2 bowls of besan and 1 bowl of water. You can increase the quantity depending on the number of slices that you want to make. 1 tablespoon salt, 1 spoon jeera, coriander leaves, green chilies, and chopped garlic. Garlic is optional. If you like the flavor of it, you can add. So now mix all these ingredients properly. Now here is my mixture ready for the bread pakoras. So now I'll begin with deep frying the bread pakoras. First of all, I'll take a slice of bread and put it in the mixture of besan that I have prepared. You have to nicely roll over it and then I deep fry them. Similarly, I'll do for other bread slices too. After putting your bread slices in the hot oil, do not move them for a few minutes. Let it cook properly at the same place. Once it's done, you can start moving them. After keeping it at the same place for 2 minutes, you can start moving them. Make sure it does not stick to each other. So now, as you can see, the bread pakoras are ready. I'm going to remove them out in a plate. So here my bread pakoras are ready. It requires only 3 to 4 ingredients and around 15 minutes. Do try this recipe. Today I am going to show you a very simple, quick yet delicious recipe for all the cheese lovers out there. This recipe is known as cheese balls. So let's see the ingredients that we need for this recipe. Breadcrumbs, mashed potatoes, chopped coriander leaves, salt, jeera, chopped green chilies, and grated cheese. Instead of the normal cheese, you can also use mozzarella cheese. So now let's begin with the recipe. First of all, I'll take little mashed potatoes in a bowl. You can mash 2 boiled potatoes, depends on the number of cheese balls you want to make. Now I'll mix breadcrumbs in the mashed potatoes. Remember, the ratio of the potatoes and breadcrumbs has to be 1:2. The potatoes has to be lesser in quantity than the breadcrumbs. In the mixture of mashed potatoes and breadcrumbs, I'll now add coriander leaves, salt as per taste, green chilies, and jeera. Now all you have to do is, for the batter, you have to just mix all these ingredients properly and make it like a thick dough. After you have mixed all these ingredients properly, you can, with the help of hand, make a dough like you make for chapatis. So this is how your mixture should look. Now I'll start making the cheese balls with this mixture. Firstly, make a round ball. Flatten it. Give it a shape like this, and with the help of spoon, take 1 spoon of cheese. And now cover it. To make smaller balls, you can also use lesser cheese. So this is my cheese ball ready. So similarly, I'll make 2 more balls and then deep fry them. So here my 3 cheese balls are ready. Before deep frying them, you can also roll them in suji. But here I'm just deep frying them now. So I won't move it for a few minutes now. You can see these have turned golden brown. I'll wait for 2 more minutes for it to turn proper brown and be properly cooked. So now my cheese balls are ready. I'm going to remove them in a plate. You can see how delicious they look and such a lovely color they've got. Now I'm going to serve them in my serving plate. To serve them, you can cut them into 2 pieces. You can see the melted cheese inside. Definitely a must for all the cheese lovers. So here my cheese balls are ready. You can see how delicious they look, especially the melted cheese. You can also sprinkle some oregano and parsley leaves over it because as we all know, cheese and oregano goes well all the time. So do try this recipe. Today I have a recipe which is almost favorite of all of you. These are sandwiches and moreover these are cheese chili sandwiches. Not very tough to make and doesn't even take much time. So the ingredients we need for these sandwiches are as following. Few bread slices, 2 spoons of oil, 2 tomatoes, some coriander leaves, 2 green chilies, some capsicum, grated cheese and finely chopped onion. So first of all, as we begin with the recipe, we need to make green chutney. So for making green chutney, we will take the following ingredients. Here I take tomato slices, two green chilies and coriander leaves. So here my green chutney is ready. I'll take it out in a bowl. You do not need a lot of chutney. You need only 2 spoons of chutney. Take 2 spoons of oil in it. Now I'll mix finely chopped onion, finely chopped capsicum, I'll add a pinch of salt. So now after 3 to 4 minutes I can see a nice golden brown color. Also the capsicum and onion look properly cooked. So now I'll add 2 spoons of chutney in it. I'll immediately put my grated cheese in it. Now I'll mix all these ingredients well and wait till the cheese melts completely. With the help of a spoon, I'll apply the mixture on the bread slice. Now along with that, I'll apply on another bread slice too. A few mustard seeds. Now I'll place my sandwiches over it. 2-3 drops of oil also on the upper bread. As you can see, my sandwiches are now turning golden brown. I'll wait till they turn crispy and crunchy. So now I'm going to cut my sandwiches into 2 pieces. You can see how delicious they look. Do try this recipe. I'm back with a new recipe. Very simple yet very quick. This recipe is known as chocolate sandwiches. For all you chocolate lovers and for those who like to fill their tummy with chocolates, I'm going to show you how to make chocolate sandwiches. A perfect evening snack for all the chocolate lovers out there. For this recipe you require following ingredients: butter at the room temperature, few bread slices, compound chocolate, grated compound chocolate, you can even use any other chocolate if you want, and some almonds. This is optional. So now let's begin with this easy and quick recipe. First of all, I'm going to take a bread slice. I'll put some butter over the slice. Now I'm taking the grated chocolate. You can put the chocolate in the quantity you like. I'm taking a lot of chocolate. Now taking another bread slice and putting some more butter over it. You can add some chopped almonds. Now I've taken some oil in a pan, about 2 to 3 spoons of oil. I'm keeping the sandwich over it. Now I'm preparing similarly another sandwich. So this recipe is very simple, takes not more than 5 to 7 minutes, yet it tastes absolutely delicious and for all the chocolate lovers out there. You can also make these sandwiches in the sandwich maker. Cook it until the chocolate is completely melted. As you can see, they have already turned golden brown. So now I'm going to take these sandwiches out in a plate. These sandwiches require absolutely no sauce. So now my chocolate sandwiches are ready, which requires absolutely minimum ingredients and minimum time and would make a delicious recipe especially for your kids. Do try this recipe. Today I'm going to show you how to make egg cutlets. This is a perfect combination for all the egg lovers and the pakoda lovers. For this dish you need the following ingredients: 3 boiled eggs, breadcrumbs of around 7 to 8 pieces, salt, jeera powder, green chilies, coriander leaves, dhania powder, and mashed potatoes, around 3 mashed potatoes. I have taken mashed potatoes and breadcrumbs in a bowl. I'll take a few more breadcrumbs. Remember, you're neither adding corn flour nor maida in it, so you have to add more of breadcrumbs than the mashed potatoes. Now I'll add chopped green chilies, salt, jeera powder, dhania powder, and chopped coriander leaves. You have to mix all these ingredients well. So now I have mixed all these ingredients well. You can see this is how it has to look. You can add a tablespoon of water if you feel the mixture is dry. And mix it well so that it becomes smooth. Now I am going to take a boiled egg. And roll the mixture over it. So this is how my egg cutlet looks. Now I'm going to deep fry it. But before that, I'm going to put this mixture over all the 3 eggs. So here my 3 egg cutlets are ready. Before deep frying them, you can also roll them in suji. But I will just deep fry the egg cutlets now. Remember, the oil has to be very hot or else the egg cutlets will soak the oil in it. So you can see the egg cutlets are now turning golden brown. I'll wait for a few more minutes. if you roll them into suji, it would become even more crispier and crunchier. So here you can see my egg cutlets are ready. Now I'm going to remove them in a plate. So now my egg cutlets are ready. I'm going to cut them into 2 pieces. You can see how delicious these look and very simple and quick to make. So these are my egg cutlets ready. You can garnish them with some fresh coriander leaves and some chaat masala and serve these hot with some green chutney and tomato ketchup. Today I am going to show you a recipe which will require only 5 to 7 minutes and you can make quick laddus with no cooking and no baking at all. So this recipe requires only 4 ingredients which includes oats, sugar, butter and cocoa powder. All you have to do is make sure your butter is at room temperature. Do not melt it. It just needs to be at the room temperature. You just have to take 2 spoons of butter. Also depends on the number of laddus you want to make, and 4 spoons of oats. Some sugar and cocoa powder. If you like coffee flavor, you can also take coffee powder instead of the cocoa powder. All you have to do in this recipe is just keep mixing. Mix it really well. The oats should be completely dissolved in it. While mixing, if at all you think the liquid is too dry, you can add some more butter. Or if you feel it's too wet, you can add some oats. For me, I think the mixture is just going perfect, so I'll keep it mixing. So this is the texture I like for my oats laddus. You can even mix it more so that the oats are completely dissolved, but I like the crunchy flavor of it. So this is my oats mixture. Now I'll make small balls of it. Here I have some coconut powder. You can use either coconut powder or any other colorful balls if you want. Just to garnish it, just roll it over the coconut powder. For kids, you can add a stick in it and you can make a candy like thing, or for elders you can even make laddus without the stick. Also you can give any other shape if you like. You can also make it like pedas, like this. In this entire recipe, it's very quick. Only thing you have to remember is you have to mix all the ingredients really well. So these are 2 pedas for the elderly in my family, and this is the candy for the kids in my family. So this is a very simple yet quick recipe as well as very healthy because it has oats in it. So it is perfect for your festive season. It's 5-minute recipe, no cooking, no baking, just mix it and it's ready. Thank you. I'm back with the easy peasy recipe once again. This recipe is known as dahi sandwich, curd sandwich, or you can also call it mayonnaise sandwich because it tastes like mayonnaise once it's done. It requires only 10 minutes, and if you have sudden guests at your place, this is one thing that you can make quickly for them. For this recipe you require following ingredients: few bread slices, finely chopped onion, hung curd 1 cup, or if you do not have hung curd, you can remove all the excess water of the curd so that it's thick enough, finely chopped capsicum, chopped green chilies, a little salt, mustard seeds, that is rye, and oil. So we begin with our recipe. First of all, I'm going to take hung curd in a large bowl. Mix finely chopped onion in it and capsicum, few green chilies, a pinch of salt. Now I'm going to mix all these ingredients properly. You can also use black pepper powder. I would add a little more capsicum. Remember, only hunk curd or thick curd works for this recipe. So, here is my mixture for the sandwich ready. I am going to take a slice of bread and apply this mixture on the bread slice and cover it with another bread slice. So, now I'll take 2 spoons of oil in a pan which is preheated so that the oil doesn't take too long to heat. I'll put some mustard seeds. I'll put over my sandwiches. These sandwiches are also called as mayonnaise sandwich because once it's done, it tastes like mayonnaise. Since you can see it looks golden brown, I've turned it. These sandwiches are done once it's looked golden brown. Since it's golden brown from both the sides, I'm removing it from the pan. So now as you can see, the sandwiches are golden brown and ready. I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces. So these are curd sandwiches, dahi sandwiches, also known as mayonnaise sandwiches ready. Very easy to make, takes only 10 minutes and it's a sure make when you have sudden guests at your place. Do try this recipe. If you like, also post your valuable comments and also subscribe to the channel. Thank you.